Fota Wild Park, it's a non-profit organisation. It was set up by University College Cork and the Zoological Society back in 1983. Basically at the time Dublin Zoo were looking at expanding into the Phoenix Park and creating a wildlife themed park or safari park in Dublin, and there was land in Cork that the university owned it. So they decided basically to why not have an alternative somewhere else in the country where animals could free roam, and plus it would be somewhere for tourists to visit as well. So in the summer of 1983 it opened. It's been very successful. 28 years old now, and we're up to visitors about 377,000 last year, and looking to increase all the time. We redeveloped the site in early 2009, and it took us about 8 months, but we want to really get it right. And the key thing is that you can communicate, and it's a two-way communication tool. You have to leave people access your site in terms of putting stuff up. If they have a question, leave them ask the question. If they have a topic, leave them put up a topic, and also leave them put up pictures, but make it easy to navigate around. We find that some websites are very, they look lovely from the outside, beautiful flash imagery at the start, but no information. And what we do is we try and compile the highlights on the homepage. So what we would do on our homepage, we'd have latest news, events, and guest book comments. So that's on the homepage, along then with latest pictures from our Flickr feed, so that they get to see real-time uploading of photographs from our fans. So we have something like 400 photographers that are constantly taking pictures in the park. It's all about engaging with the customer and making it very soft. And not as not this hard sell approach, that it's really about communication, because that's what the whole web is about nowadays. It's moved on from being this one-way tool to being a two-way tool, where it's kind of going around in a circle where people are communicating with one another. We won the Grand Prix award for the Golden Spiders last year, and that was great because we were up against some of the big brands in Ireland such as Heineken and VHI. We never thought we would beat them, but the judges came back and said it was our interactivity. We have things like a kids page, so the kids can ask our Larry, he's the mascot, they can ask him a question. So anything from what do the zebras eat to where do the monkeys sleep at night, and we answer back in a very childlike manner. So we have a section for them, but then we have a section for adults as well, so they can just contact us and put up a guest book comment or something like that. My advice to people would be communicate, and it's two-way communication. It doesn't just work one way, and update it as much as possible, and make sure that you have plenty of things in the future for people to talk about. It was around that time then that Facebook really started to grow as well, and we could see it. This is the area for us. It was hitting our target audience. We could see that within a matter of weeks we had built up to a couple of hundred people. We started in July, and by the end of August we had nearly 2,000 fans. No advertising campaigns, just pure word of mouth. And then it became very interesting because whenever you do research about marketing for the park and you ask a question, how did you hear about the park? 70% of people always say word of mouth, somebody told me, a friend told me. So it got me thinking really about this whole word of mouth and what it really meant, and how do we nurture it. We know people talk out there, but how do we manage how people talk? And the only platform that was available to us to manage that was through social media, and especially Facebook, because now we could see what people were talking about. And it was great because obviously we had Google Analytics on the website, and we see that our hits were going up. In the first year alone of our new website, we doubled the traffic. We went up by 100%, and it was mainly through search engine. But even though we knew where they were from, we didn't know who they were, or how old they were, or what their interests were, hobbies, etc. And Facebook was able to show us that. Facebook Insights, from a marketing point of view, was probably the biggest tool ever in terms of, from a research, this is real-time research. There's nobody lying, because they're telling the truth. They're putting up their date of births, they're telling what sex they're, male or female, where they're from, what city they're from, etc. So when we got to around 2,000, 3,000 fans in late August 2009, I also did a survey. I did a marketing survey to see what people were into. So basically what radio stations, what TV stations, what newspapers, etc. what they read, and where they heard about us. And I merged the two together, and then I looked at basically who was our fan base on Facebook. It showed me that typically they were female between the ages of 20 and 45. So in 2010 I actually changed my whole marketing spend to go straightly direct towards that audience, that female audience, that 20 to 45-year-old. So where I had been spending money in what I thought was the older demographics, say newspapers and radio, I changed. I went for younger, vibrant radio stations. I went for tabloidish magazines and newspapers to try and go straight for the demographic that I needed, because I could see it also in the park. I could see young families. There was a baby boom in the country, but there were young families. Typically a mother was anything between 25 and 35, and also young couples were tending to come to the park as well. So this was interesting in terms of that we could target them directly. We knew from research that this is where we should be putting our money. In 2010 as well, we did this exciting competition to go for this young audience, where we let 8 people live in the park for a week. And it was interesting because we put the question up on Facebook, and in the space of an hour we had 100 comments, and at the time we had only something like 4,000 fans. But that became viral, and at the end of the month we had 6,000 fans, and it kept going and going and going, and now we're up to 14,000 fans. I would say to any business that are doing it, or any organisation, that you need to constantly keep an eye on it. So it doesn't matter whether it's 9 o'clock on a Monday morning or 12 o'clock on a Saturday night. Somebody might have a topic or put up a question that needs to be answered, and try as best as you can to answer it. And that's what we do. We basically talk to people. It's not about the hard sell. We don't sell anything through Facebook at the moment. Obviously, yes, we sell the park as a whole, but we're selling a message. We're not actually telling them you have to give us money for being on here on our site or anything like that. We're just talking to them, and it doesn't matter what they ask us, we try and respond to them. And that's what I would say. Don't go constantly every 5-10 minutes saying, you know, special off today, €10 off, blah blah blah. It won't work. People will switch you off. They won't engage. What I would say as well is Facebook is very much a leisure. It's something people do in their spare time, and we're a leisure business, so we're a perfect fit. So anyone that's in that industry whereby it's something that people do in their spare time, whether in their hospitality sector, whether in some sort of service sector or something like that, the cinema, you know, retail even, you know, it's engaging with people. I know it's feel-good factors and triggering things that maybe brings back memories and stuff as well, and that's all key.